Karl Popper was born on July 28, 1902, and died September 17, 1994. He left school at the age of 16, but became a guest student at the University of Vienna. The lectures were of math, physics, philosophy, psychology, and history of music. He had a PhD in psychology and in 1929 became a math and physics teacher. He got married in 1930 to Josephine. They immigrated to New Zealand in 1937. He achieved the Lipton Cott Award of the Political Science Association, the Sonny Prize, the Otto Hahn Peace Medal of the United Nations of Germany, and in 1945 he wrote The Open Society and His Enemies.
Connection between Popper and Kuhn. Both views portray aspects of scientific progression. Karl created the idea of critical rationalism. His theory discussed the ideas of disbelief until proven true, and only justified with reason or experience. Kuhn, on the other hand, argued science does not progress in a linear accumulation of knowledge. Rather, it undergoes periodic revolutions, otherwise known as paradigm shifts. He also explained his disapproval for growth of knowledge without proper justification or proof. Karl's philosophy of science includes two elements. These elements relate to his ideas of how to distinguish logic from methodological disciplines. It is his belief that there is a qualitative difference between science and philosophy. These elements include, number one, concern with issues pertaining to science in the broad spectrum of knowledge, and number two, the nature of science and its progression as a discipline.
In this example, we'll assume that all grass is green. In order to prove that theory, you need to find grass that is another color. And in this example, we'll use that color as purple. If you can't find any purple grass, then the theory of grass being green can be proven according to Karl Popper's theory. How does this relate to today, you might ask? This relates to today due to the way we collect scientific data. We must have a pre-stated thesis or understanding of what exactly we're experimenting for. And in that way, Karl Popper has significantly contributed to the way we collect scientific data. Thomas Kuhn was born on July 19, 1922. He has a Master's of Science, and although not a philosopher, he obtained his PhD in physics. He was married twice. He's a father of three, professor at the University of Princeton, and wrote The Structure of Scientific Revolutions and died on June 12th. So what exactly did Thomas Kuhn do? And how is it relevant to today? Before asking that question, we must first understand what his theory outlines. The Kuhn cycle can basically be summarized in such a manner: from pre-science, which is the basic idea of a concept, to normal science, which is a scientifically based idea, to a model drift, which is a scientific idea that is expanded based on anomalies, to model crisis, which is a scientific idea that can no longer advance, to model revolution, a new concept of scientific idea emerges, to a paradigm change, which basically essentially shifts the way that we perceive things. If all of this is still confusing you, let me put it in a visual representation. So let's just say we have one concept. We add another concept. We add another concept. And eventually, we get a paradigm change, which is an idea of all the concepts to accumulate a whole new one. Thomas Kuhn created the term paradigm, and we use it in everyday science, explaining the changes from one phase to another.
Thomas Kuhn's major contributions to science today involved the presentation of alternative approaches to the previously known scientific methodology. He claimed that Galileo and Aristotle's approaches were fallacies. So here's a
Brief overview of Aristotle's theory.
He formalized system for reasoning included his observation regarding the validity of an argument being based off its structure rather than its content.
Brief overview of Galileo's theory. Consistency condition claims a new hypothesis must agree with previously accepted theories.
He determined that logic was necessary but insufficient for justifying scientific knowledge. He established predispositions which allowed individuals to learn from their environment, leading to the falsification of previous knowledge or the gradual evolution of past thoughts or theories. So he created dogmas.